foot up at some point. But, I just figured we'd try the hangouts again, you know, and see if we could start possibly using them to talk about some of the stuff that's going on, you know. I don't know. I can't really stay on on this chair very long anyway, so it'll be a short one. Actually, maybe you could help me put up my foot for a little while, because that would give me a little time. Is your back still hurting you?
Not in this position.
Would it be hard for you to help me put my foot right up here?
Yeah.
Just in case you guys don't know, I just finished having an operation 14 days ago. I just got out of the hospital Thursday, which I'm like 4 days out of the hospital. Ready? Are you okay, man?
Yeah, if I bend a certain way.
Ah, go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, go ahead. Leave it up there. Okay, good. Okay, we're like the house of invalids. Even Carla's dragging herself up and down the stairs over there. So anyway, I have, if you look on the chronic page, you'll see there are a bunch of pictures of the post-op scars and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm not. Sorry, I'm not smiling and jumping up and down, and you know. But this is more or less just, this is David Mazurek.
Well,
and my name's Thomas Scott Negron, and they call me Neggie or NeGorilla, you know, Gorilla. They call me a bunch of stuff. And guess we were just going to talk about some of the interesting things about how my medical cannabis case that's still going on. Believe me, I'm still being prosecuted for trafficking, of all things, for you know, the charge of growing cannabis. No evidence of any, you know, dealing or any of that kind of thing, is based primarily, even though it was obviously evidentially a medical cannabis case, they charged me with trafficking. So I think that for the most part, most of these guys, I don't think they have enough information. I don't think they understand what I was going through or what's been going on with me for 15 years. And I thought maybe, you know, at some point, maybe we could get some media people to come and interview me and maybe like get my side of the story or something, or I don't know, man. I just don't want to piss anybody off, you know. I want to do it respectfully.
Yes, you've been in chronic pain for over 15 years now.
Well,
You just had a major hip operation, and the doctor said it was the worst case of hip damage he's ever seen.
yeah, he said it was the worst case of natural hip damage. That's what he told you out in the waiting room, right?
Yes.
In Maryland.
He confided in me in Maryland that it was the worst case
You
of
have
hip
to
damage.
speak clearly because they won't hear you.
He confided in me in Maryland it was the worst case of hip damage he has ever seen in his career. He can't believe that you could withstand that level of pain that was going on in your body.
Is that what he said to you guys, for real?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I couldn't believe it either. So, what was normal? What did he say about the length of the surgery? We had surgery the 21st of December. Incidentally, you know, I've had to contact. Can we maybe just move this table a little bit, like I know you're hurting, dude, but can you go over there and pull that corner of the table that way so it's, because I can't turn and I can't put my leg up that way. Dave pulled his own back out trying to help me. He's been helping take care of me. Him and Marilyn have been helping take care of me. And, you know, now we're going to need caregivers for them, I guess. So this is just a really rough time for us.
My motto is caregivers need caregivers.
Pull it that way. Yeah, that's so much better, dude. That's cool right there. Wow, dude, you're in that much pain. We need to get Dr. Greg and Dr. Terry over here. So anyway, how long was the surgery again? It's only supposed to be like not even a 3-hour surgery.
I think yours lasted a little longer. I mean, at Johns Emory, they have a color-coded chart in the waiting room which shows what stage of the patient is in, waiting for surgery, in surgery, post-op surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I believe your surgery was maybe 2 to 3 hours.
No, it was longer.
Longer than 3 hours.
Marilyn might remember. Maybe.
They have a very good system for notifying.
Oh, let's talk about Emory.
Loved ones on the condition of the patient.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Sorry, I'm eating a piece of chocolate. I can't eat any regular big meals at all. So on all the social media pages, you probably see how I've got all these people coming over to see me and help out in the studio and stuff like that. But I haven't been eating very much because, and this was my problem for 15 years. I think I could probably take it down for a little while now. No, I got it. Going down is one thing. Coming up is a lot harder. We're just gonna do this for maybe 10 minutes, and then I gotta go lay down. The pain medications they have me on right now, and the reason I'm so lucid right this second is because I was due to take my pain medication some time ago, and I'm just stretching it out because I want to talk with you guys. And I guess I have my own agenda. I need people to sign our petition. In no way do I want to try to be disrespectful to Cobb County or to the court system in any way. I want it to be known that I absolutely hold no malice to the court system or to the police officers that arrested me. They're just doing their job. I realize that. They're just doing their job, following the written law. You know, it's against cannabis is against the law. I get it, but the law's wrong. I feel justified in saying it as my personal opinion and my medical opinion that these cannabis laws are allowing people to suffer needlessly. And it's my opinion that that there are much more rational solutions to the problems that we have regarding this issue. I realize that 75 to 80 years of, I don't want to call it brainwashing, but indoctrination, and as far as telling people how evil this substance is, this plant. after a while, if you repeat something that people are presenting to you as facts, if you present them long enough as facts, they sort of become the truth, even though they're not tested. Even though, you know, 95% of the people who believe that that plant is evil have never even seen it in person. They might have seen it, you know, some smokable cannabis, or they might have seen somebody smoking a joint or something, or they might have smoked themselves. You know, I would say a great portion of them probably have smoked themselves. But none of them have ever been exposed to all the benefits. You know, the Chinese, basically the plant originated somewhere in China, I'm led to believe. It was used in Jesus' time. Jesus used hemp oil. If Jesus walked the earth, and I believe that he did, and I believe Jesus as my brother and personal savior, but that's a different conversation altogether. But what I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of people say Jesus didn't walk the earth. Well, if he didn't walk the earth, then he probably didn't use cannabis, right? Can I have one of those towels, David? I got to put some on my weight here because it's freaking killing me. Notice how I cursed once?
That's a good thing.
If Jesus did walk the earth, then Jesus most definitely used cannabis and cannabis products, cannabis substances like cannabis tinctures, cannabis oil, salves made with cannabis. And, you know, I guess that's not in itself a case for legalization of cannabis, but I'm just trying to present information that probably wasn't included in Reefer Madness. I mean, we're going to do a lot on that subject. This is just the beginning. We tested it out back when I was still a cannabis patient, and I was getting around the pain. Basically, I want you people to know that for the past 15 years, I have lived in complete and utter agony. There are people that have been living side by side with me for many years that are going to be willing to testify to what they saw. And these aren't people that were coached or offered anything. These are just people that I saw day to day in my life. I raised my son by myself for the most part. His mother was a, you know, parent that had visitation. I provided for my son, provided him a place to live, and raised him, you know, my child. And at the same time took care of both of my grandparents in my home. And that was for, you know, 12 years out of that 15 years. You can't imagine what it was like having my chronic hip pain ever ramping up to a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, you know, situation, probably sometime in 2004, 2005, when I couldn't even sleep for more than 4 or 5 hours at a time. And at the same time, having my level of responsibility regarding my grandparents and my son and my business and everything else ramp up at the same time. So here's these two things that are just ever increasing and ever, you know, presenting themselves as things that basically my life was built around. So I just thought I would touch on that. And this guy here, who I'm sure that they will want to probably use as a witness against me, is going to be able to testify to that, because he originally came to work for our company in August 2001 and moved in, you know, I think he moved in, I don't know when.
August 21st, 2001.
Well, there it is. So it's not like, I just want you guys to know, no matter what, I mean, that there's a good chance that none of this evidence will ever be allowed into court, because, you know, that's what attorneys do, I guess. They've, you know, posture and angle to win. They go for the win. You know what I mean? And if you couple that with the fact that none of these people know me or know anything about me, you know, people like to talk about my past service as a firefighter and all the lives I've saved and stuff, you know that most of none of the lives I've ever saved were ever on duty as a firefighter. Out of the probably the 10 or 11 people that I'm credited with helping in my life, none of them were on duty as a firefighter or anything else. I mean, I worked with the city of Santa Barbara for many years, as a part-time maintenance guy down there, and saved some people out of a burning building one time, showing them how to get out of the building. Went into the building at great risk to myself, but I wasn't a firefighter at the time. As a matter of fact, after that is when I joined Hot Shots, and all I did was go up in the forest and help them dig fire breaks. They gave us a shovel and a chainsaw, and that was firefighting. So anyway, I guess what I'm getting at is most of the times I've ever helped other human beings, that has never been when I was a firefighter. I was a active firefighter for a relatively short time. I was volunteer for a lot longer. And all the training I've received surely got to use. Primarily, all of my rope rescue training was used in training other firefighters, because I was really good at rope rescue or high angle rescue. I owned a tree service at the time. I was vying for my contractor's license, and I had years of experience helping Terry Peterson's tree service there in Santa Barbara. Make his name for himself. And so I was trained by some of the best in roping and rigging and basically mechanical advantages and stuff. By the time I joined the fire department, rope rescue was just natural for me, because I had no fear of heights. And when you do high angle rescue and escape and stuff, there's four phases of high rise training. And basically most of what it is teaching you to be so comfortable with your gear that you just have the ultimate confidence in your gear. That's really what firefighting is having the confidence to do things that you can do, and to not try the things that you can't try. And the only time you put yourself at risk is when another life is at risk. Pretty simple, right? I just want to say, although I passed EMT training, I never got into the fire service to be a medical guy. I really, that's scary to me. I mean, emergency medical technology and having to have the responsibility for somebody else's life, pre-hospital trauma generally, was the scariest thing I think I've ever done. The first time a patient ever died on me, it stayed with me for months. Second time, it stayed with me for months. Ouch. And if you see me jumping around a lot right now, it's because I have this 18-inch scar going down my front anterior left anterior hip. I just got a complete hip replacement. And we're going to talk a lot about this hospital, the Emory Hospital, the Orthopedic Sports Medicine Research Clinic. And we're going to talk about a doctor, a young fella, I like to say, because, me being 55 and you being what? How old are you now?
57. 58, okay.
I got you, man. Funny. When you know somebody for years, you can go back and forth like that. But anyway, the fellow's name, the surgeon that worked on me, his name is Dr. Richard Thomas. And those guys over there are probably so sick of hearing me, but they seem to receive it well. It's the most unbelievable hospital I've ever been in. We'll talk more about that as the week goes on. We're going to organize our thoughts here, and we're going to try to come back tomorrow, and we're going to just start at one end and work our way to the other. And hopefully, by the time we're through, maybe you guys will understand a little bit more about why I'm doing this, first of all, and I'll get into that in a second, and what you can do to help. I mean, you can do something. You can actually have an effect on this issue. And that's brings me to the first thing, is why I'm doing this. And I got to tell you that I swear to you people, it has nothing to do with trying to get myself out of trouble. Because before I got in trouble, before I was arrested for this, you got to remember that my pain started coming on in 2000. Well, it started coming on in 1998, 1999, but it didn't become like daily, like where's my car keys daily, you know what I mean? Before you go out, you have to get your car keys. It didn't become a daily part of my life until 2000. And when I went to Thomas Brozowski on Saxon Boulevard in Deltona, Florida, for my first orthopedic visit, after visiting like 5 or 6 doctors, this is before I met him. You know, I already had a digestive issue. You know, I've suspected that I had digestive issues since 1987, and that's a different story. So I was going for them for my digestive issues, but I was also saying, hey, you know what? I got this pain right here, and it just never goes away. What's going on with this thing? And then little by little, it started increasing until it was the very center of my life. I want you guys to understand this, that if you've never experienced chronic pain or this level of pain in your life, maybe you broke your arm and went through 18 weeks of nightmare. I feel for you. I'm not saying that doesn't rate. It definitely rates. I mean, any kind of pain is bad pain, right? But when I started in pain, it was 2000. You know what I mean? When I really started feeling this stuff. And going to all these doctors, I assumed that there would be something that could be done with it. I just want you guys to know that I've been through 15 years of hell. When I say hell, you don't even know. You can't even imagine unless you've had it. Even the people that are with you every day, the people that you live around, the people that you work with, the people that work for you, the people that love you, the people that you love, they will never know what you have been through. So I want you to know that is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now, is because now, like before I got arrested for cannabis, I had already gone through about 11 years of utter hell. Do you understand me? Utter hell. I watched a lot of my life get whittled away because of my inability to balance it all. I think I did a pretty good job, and a lot of other people think I did a pretty good job. I mean, I did raise my son, right? We took good care of my grandparents. I mean, we did the best we could. You know, my grandfather died in his arms. You know, I think we did a really good job taking care of George and Josephine. But on the days that he was home watching them and you know, having to chase my grandmother out the window like I had to do so many times, I was out there laying tile and, you know, I don't know what, hanging drywall and finishing drywall and cleaning brand new constructions for Hurricane Drywall. And, I mean, you know, I put in some good, you know, 16-hour days to bring home the scratch to augment my grandparents' money, which wasn't very much. I mean, you know, there were some real jerks in our family that were fighting over it, but at the end result, they didn't have a lot of money, and the attorneys and the probate accountants and stuff probably got 2/3 of it eventually. I would say probably half. They, you know, the attorneys and all of them. So I know I'm skipping around a lot, but maybe this will serve as a good place for us to start so that we can write stuff down like take one subject at a time and maybe spend a half hour on each subject. But I just want you guys to know why I'm doing this. There are people out there right now, right this second, and I'm meeting them every day. We have close to 900 members in our chronic page. We have a page that's the name of the page is called Chronic Pain, Common Sense Justice for Medical Cannabis. We're on Facebook. You can look me up by my name, Scott Negron, Negron. But what I'm hoping you'll do is look up our public group. It's a public group. And the name of the group is Chronic Pain, Common Sense Justice for Medical Cannabis. And the reason I'm doing this is not only to get my story out, I mean, because it's important to me to get my story out to you people, but it's more important because whether I win or lose, I mean, I think in a sense, my total horror, you know, the horror of my life in the past 15 years has brought me to a point where what can they do to me now? What more? Excuse me. What more can happen to me? You know, you're going to hear a lot of stories about me, and you're gonna get a lot of information about me, and man, you know, I have to say most of it is probably true, but it's not bad stuff. I mean, I think I've done a lot of stuff. I think I've served society, and I put in my time, and I've tried not to be selfish. And what I'm doing this for is because there are a lot of people out there suffering. What really pisses me off, what really kind of almost makes me angry about it, is that there's a ton of children out there that can be helped. And the reason they're not being helped is because somebody with a lot of power and holding a lot of purse strings has a chokehold on cannabis. Someone who basically pulls all the political strings and financial strings. This has been going on for 80 years. This has been going on since the 30s, right? Since the 30s. And the only thing I can tell you is until enough people are awakened and until enough people are willing to stand up at risk to themselves, at risk to their profession, you know, all the doctors I talk to and that I've worked with, that I've done research with, until enough people stand up together, it's going to go on just like it is now. They keep throwing us little bones. And basically what it amounts to is eventually they're going to have it legalized only to a certain point. They're going to maintain control of it. And all it is them stealing your dreams, them stealing your freedom and selling it back to you. And I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a supporter of that. You know, so I just want you to know that today is the 5th of January, 2016, and I want you to know that at 2:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there are thousands of people in this country right now that are in complete and utter agony, that are complete and utterly hopeless, that feel completely and utterly alone like I did. And I eventually, you know, by the grace of the grand architect of whoever runs this universe, I was sent angels to help me. You know, for some reason it was ordained or something that I would make it through this somehow, and I'm still not through it. They flat out told me that if I fought this charge, that they would give me the full 15 years in prison. And if that's what I have to do to get attention to this subject, then I'm willing to do it. But it's a shame. I think it would be a shame if I couldn't get people to stand up with me. Like, what's the problem? I'm risking it all. So all you have to do is click on a petition. All you have to do is write a letter. If you support this legislation and you support the freedom to use medical cannabis, at the very least, I mean, to me, who cares if somebody gets stoned? I don't care. I've never seen a guy rob a liquor store because he needed more pot. That's a different subject too. You know what I mean? I don't want to piss anybody off, and I don't want to ridicule anybody else's opinions. All I'm saying is that if you support this issue, then I'm asking you to support my fight to broaden the information, broaden the horizons of the people who control the legislation. And that starts with the Cobb County Judicial, the Superior Court, and my DA, who I will supply their names and stuff and how to get a hold of them. But I just want you to know right now, I don't want anybody yelling and screaming and cursing, and none of that negative crap is going to make any difference. And if that's what you're about, I don't need your help. I mean, I spent years as an angry, lonely guy, you know what I mean? Trying to, not female wise, but just in life. I mean, no matter how great my relationship was, no matter how well behaved my son was, no matter how happy I was with the people I love, I walked around in complete and utter agony for 15 years. And that essentially ended back on the 21st of December when I had my surgery. And although complete hip surgery replacements are usually a 3 to 4 day affair, there were some complications with mine. Mine wasn't a simple deal. And so I ended up in the hospital for 9 days, and now I've got about 2 to 3 weeks of utter rehab ahead of me. I'm going to be on bed rest, and it's not going to be, we're not done yet. So so what I'm asking of you is maybe that you would spread the word a little bit. Click on the link to the chronic pain page. You can get information on our petition that we're putting together a petition. I think we have only 300 or 400 people so far signed it. I would like to see 3,000 or 4,000 people signing it. Won't cost you a penny to sign this petition. If you do have a few extra dollars and you want to throw $5 in the legal fund, man, that would be fantastic. This whole thing is going to run 20 grand easily before it's over. I had to cough up the better part of $3,000 for David's attorney, not to mention bail and everything else. David was my caregiver. He had nothing to do with it, but he was facing 15 years in prison too, just like I was. Never been arrested in his life. And then, myself, I mean, there's going to be a lot of information that comes out, and I think we should probably try to do this either every day or every other day. So please watch for new videos coming. And I don't know, I guess I shouldn't make this so long, So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. And I'm just hoping that you guys will, like I said, click on the page, join our Facebook group. It's called Chronic Pain, Common Sense Justice for Medical Cannabis. My name is Scott Negron. This is David Mazurek. And we have a petition going and a legal fund, a GoFundMe legal fund. And we're not asking, that's the hardest thing, is to beg people for money. If you support legalization and you want to really apply some pressure, You know, I don't want to put any of the advocacy organizations down, but I got to tell you, we were arrested almost a year ago. We've contacted every organization out there that sells stickers, T-shirts, badges, you know, holds these rallies, and I just got to tell you, for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, they're just T-shirt and sticker mills. They sell all this propaganda stuff, but I haven't seen them do crap. I mean, you know, talk about a presence. Well, you're going to see a presence, because I'm going to do the best I can without being a low-class scumbag. In other words, the worst thing for me is for somebody to try to use their justification for change as a club to beat somebody over the head with. That's almost like some guy coming to your house with a Bible and beating you over the head with it. There's no reason for that. Share the information, share the good news, and do it respectfully. And I've always had respect for law enforcement. You know, I mean, I've been arrested. There's no doubt about that. But you know, I've never been convicted of any type of a serious crime. I mean, you were talking about, you know, driving on a suspended license or something. So what I mean is I've always had respect for law enforcement. I've intervened in robberies and saved people before. That all this stuff is well documented. What I'm asking you to do is not disrespect the courts, not disrespect Cobb County, not disrespect law enforcement, not disrespect anybody, really, even if they disagree and they think that marijuana is this terrible drug. Help me educate them. That's the message. And what I'm doing today is purely for all of those people that are out there that have no voice. The children that will be cured, if not helped and comforted by cannabis and cannabis oil, will stop their seizures dead in their tracks. The Parkinson's disease patients, the Crohn's disease patients, everybody out there that's suffering right now. I am here and I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to help you, like I don't want you to feel alone. That's all I can say. I knew we had a different kind of agenda for today, but let's just do it tomorrow. This is like my 20-minute rant, right? Have a good day. I'll try to polish this a little bit more, but I like the realism of it too. Take care. Time for me to rest. I'm going to get out of bed tomorrow and come and talk to you some more.